From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Well, the wet weather, of course, returned over the weekend, and of course, as early as late last week, and it's going to continue through this week. Now, it's not going to be rain steady for the next 5 days or so, but we are looking at off and on rain here. Some days, obviously, heavier than others. The winds are picking up too, so gusty winds, especially for parts of the valley, east of the valley into the eastern mountains as well, especially for today, although I don't expect them to be quite as bad over the next few days, but still breezy in some spots nonetheless. Now, the cooler air to our north, it will be moving in here over the next couple of days, and as a result, it's going to lower those snow levels, but also by the weekend, it looks like we've got a bit of a break from this wet weather pattern, and I'd say at this point probably a welcomed break, because well, the rain that we've seen has been quite significant. Of course, we look at their neighborhood forecast at a glance for the rest of the afternoon, and pretty much wet weather for everyone. Still those high snow levels, mainly above 5,000 feet. So this is the system that's moving through, and again, saw a bit of a break for some of us here this morning, but as this storm system continues to push off to the east, everyone's going to eventually see some of that rain and, of course, that high elevation snow. This area of low pressure right here will eventually slide down to the south-southwest, and that's going to help some of that cooler air to migrate in. So again, there's that stream of moisture coming into Northern California. This cooler air dives down to the south, but we still have, of course, that atmospheric river pointed down towards the south of us, but still we're well within that flow, giving us some good rainfall here for your Tuesday. Now, through the day on Tuesday, that will shift to the south. Things dry out a little bit here. The cooler air continues to move on in here for your Wednesday, but by the time this storm system moves in, it's for the most part fairly moisture starved, especially when you compare to what we've seen over the last several days. But the flow around this is going to tap into this right here. You see all this moisture that's going to come in and watch it flare up with snow and rain over Northern California. Again, this is colder air moving in, and we're going to see significant drops in those snow levels by the time we get into the middle and latter part of this week. But by the time we go into Friday, that colder system and that system in general moves off to the east. High pressure will actually start to build in over the weekend, and that's going to allow us to see again that welcome break. This system is maybe going to hold on to itself a little bit here, but I don't anticipate much in the way of rain even into early next week. But of course, that's not the case now, right? So here we are at midday. Again, the main band of rain is off to the north and west of the valley, but we are seeing some showers developing in advance of that. Then we go into this afternoon and evening. Now we're seeing that kind of pushing down to the south and east a little bit here, but snow levels still not changing much. The coldest air has basically been up to the north, out towards Wairika, northern Siskiyou, northern Del Norte, and even into northwestern Modoc County as well. But here you can see even those higher snow levels as well. Now we take you into tomorrow morning, those snow levels starting to drop. And what we're going to start to see here is a bit of a break from the wet weather, most likely through the day on Tuesday for places like Del Norte, Humboldt counties. But look at this. We're beginning to see lower snow levels, 2,000 to even 3,000 feet. Hayfork, Weaverville, you may see some light snow, but at this point, I don't expect it to be all that significant. 5 p.m. on Tuesday, watch what happens. This is all going to be pushing down to the south and east. The main atmospheric river flow is finally, we're being cut off from that. And now we've got a cooler and a drier system. I mean, there still is some light snow activity, as you can see here, but nothing significant. And most of any activity, whether it's rain or snow, will be north and west of the valley. But look at the snow levels between 1,500 and 2,500 feet. This could mean the potential for some snow in places like Weaverville and Hayfork, some of those lower mountain communities. But with the colder nature of this storm, there's also going to be the potential for some thunderstorms along the coast, and we even can't rule out a thunderstorm or two possibly for even parts of the valley. In the meantime, we take a look at the amount of rainfall we expect, especially for today and tomorrow, because as you saw, there's not much going on Wednesday. We could pick up another anywhere from an inch to even close to 4 inches of additional rain on top of what we've already seen. You can see not as much off to the east and really not even as much off to the north and west, because again, after today, we're not going to see a whole lot of rainfall here for the coast by the time we do go through the day on Tuesday. Then better chances coming into Wednesday, but even then, it won't be all that heavy. All right, so what can we expect? Well, let's talk about a flood advisory and a flood watch. This flood watch has been in effect and has been changing times throughout the weekend. As of right now, it's in effect until 4 a.m. on Wednesday. Now, there's also a flood warning. That basically means flooding is already occurring in these areas or will very shortly. So you can see here, it's mainly for along the Sacramento River. So let's start with the Red Bluff Diversion Dam, where it's already flooding, should stay above that flood stage through most of the day and then slowly drop another slight uptick, but we should drop below the flood stage later on, and of course it continues to drop. All right, now we're going to take you out at the Tehama Bridge along the Sacramento River. Flood above that flood stage most likely through Wednesday morning, and then it should drop after that. Okay, and then we take you into the at the Vina-Woodson Bridge. Not flooding yet, but it will kind of just go above that flood stage as we go into late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and then it should drop after that going into Thursday and Friday. Now, there's also a flood warning for all of these areas in green here. That's basically saying that a lot of low-lying areas, there could be some street flooding that you need to be on the lookout for. There's also a flood warning here for around the Canby area. This is for Pitt River, as a matter of fact, near Canby. And you can see here, not flooding yet, not even at the action stage, but that will be quickly rising. And you can see here, not only will it reach the moderate flood stage and quite possibly even the major flood stage, but it's going to stay up there most likely through at least Thursday, and then should start to drop and then level off even on Friday. So this is a situation where the flooding could definitely be a big concern here around the Canby area at Pitt River. All right, so here you can also see an aerial flood warning. What that essentially means is, yes, you could be looking at the potential for some street flooding there as well, something to pay attention to as we go into the next few days. There's also a flood advisory for all of these areas right here. Now, that's basically also saying, yeah, a lot of low-lying areas, some street flooding is a potential here through Tuesday, through the morning hours here. All right, so also want to show you Susan River at Susanville had flooded over the weekend, but you can see it is on the downward trend. Another thing to take note is on the coast, Eel River at Fernbridge. Not flooding yet, but it is expected to reach that flood stage probably sometime late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and then it should start to drop again after that. So again, flooding is going to be a concern here over the next several days. So just some quick tips here. Turn around, don't drown. Bottom line is this: you approach a flooded road. You can't see the road through the water, so it's a good idea to turn around and not attempt to cross that road here, because all it takes is 6 inches of water to move a person away, 12 inches of water to sweep a car or even SUV, and a slightly larger vehicle, 18 inches of water. So again, just heed caution, and if there are barricades, obviously don't drive around those barricades. All right, we also have a wind advisory. The winds have picked up in many areas for the valley, even for the eastern mountains. This is until 4 p.m. Tuesday, but as we look at futurecast, we're going to see that those winds will subside through the day on Tuesday. Still gusty Tuesday morning, but by Tuesday afternoon, a bit of a breezy north wind for the valley, but nothing like what we're seeing here for today. Still gusty from the southwest for places like Plumas County. And again, a little breezy from the south for your Wednesday, a little bit stronger along the coast, but again, not quite the event that we are seeing out there today for some. This is a map that morphs throughout the day. because it all depends on what's going on and the changes in the forecast model data. Are the snow levels rising or lowering? There are a lot of factors that go into forecasting snow. Let me tell you, folks, it is a tricky one, and this just continues to morph. Bottom line is this: there are either winter weather advisories or warnings for most of the mountain locations, including many of the lower mountain communities. Now, this is coming straight raw off the forecast model data. I haven't tweaked any of these numbers. So some of these are going to be too high, some of these are going to be too low. But what it shows you here, look at the colors. You can see where most of the snow will be, but some of the communities that typically don't see snow, like Weaverville, Hayfork, could eventually see some snow. I think as early as, say, Tuesday night, it's Wednesday, and maybe even into Thursday as well. And then, of course, places like Shingletown, obviously 3,500 feet, I think we could be looking at that here. But the valley at this point does not look like it's going to see any of that snow, but we could see snow eventually drop at its lowest around 1,000 feet. So again, it is getting closer. We take a look at the forecast snow totals out of the ski park, looking very good through Wednesday. We could see over 2 feet of snow at the base. Now, we talk about the chain requirements, we talk about the road conditions. This is a great resource that I want you to take advantage of. Go to weathernorcal.com, either on a regular computer or your phone, or even on your app, on the Weather NorCal app, and tap on road conditions. Here's what it looks like. I've taken all of the highways around the area, the more popular road cams from Caltrans, and really the kind of the more popular mountain passes, and you can see the conditions just at a quick glance at what it looks like on I-5. Then, of course, Highway 89, 97, 36, Highway 44, the works. So be sure to check that out. As I mentioned, great resource. All right, here's what we have for the rest of your Monday. Temperatures in the upper 50s for the valley. We will eventually see those showers really begin to pick up here later on this afternoon and evening. Temperatures are going to be in the 40s for most of the higher elevations, and for the coast, we've got those temperatures somewhere in the mid 40s for your daytime highs. Here's a look at your 7-day outlook for the valley, and you can see for Redding, Red Bluff, and Chico, chances for showers continue through Friday, but I do expect to see a break finally by Saturday and Sunday. Looking at the coast, inland, and for Trinity County, once again, we've got chances for precipitation through Friday. Now, snow levels are these numbers I'm going to be adjusting here as we go through this evening and for tomorrow as well. Quite honestly, I may adjust that and put that down to about 1,500 feet, just to kind of give you an idea that I do think Weaverville and Hayfork for a couple of days during this week could see the potential for some snow and maybe even some accumulating snow. And of course, rain will continue for the rest of the afternoon for Mount Shasta. Snow, though, in Wairika, all right? But Alturas, Susanville, rain for the rest of the day today. But by tomorrow, you're dealing with off and on snow here for Mount Shasta, Alturas, and Susanville through Friday. And then it looks like a bit of a break from the wet weather by the weekend. That's your afternoon update. I'll be back again this evening at 6 o'clock. Have a great afternoon.
Barr & Mudford is a top established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.